Strobe. Hey guys, Ron Lyons here, the Tactical Redneck. And no, your screen's not messed up. We're actually in the vehicle. It's nighttime, and we're about to head out to the ranch and test a tactical flashlight. So come on with me, let's go out there and see if this thing actually works. All right guys, we're out here in the country now, and we're gonna try to test this tactical flashlight. And when I say that with air quotes, I know this is not what most of you would consider to be a tactical flashlight by today's standards. Right now, we're so used to like the Olights and some of the smaller, the Phoenix, all of the different lights that you can actually hold with one hand and operate from a thumb button on the end. This is very, very old school, and it's called the Surge. It's the high powered 20,000 lumen, supposedly, tactical flashlight. This bad boy comes in at just about a foot in length, 2.2 pounds, and let me tell you, this is very reminiscent for me of the Maglite from back in the day. Whenever I was on patrol, we would carry a Maglite, a big D-cell Maglite just like this, and of course you knew it served more purposes than just being a flashlight. You knew damn good and well that when you were on a traffic stop or some sort of a call in the evening, if you didn't need to throw some light out, you definitely still had a club. Now, they didn't teach us that, they didn't tell us that, it was just kind of understood that this became an impact weapon if you needed it. Now let's talk briefly about the Surge and how it actually functions. It is an aluminum case flashlight, LED, pretty good size reflector right there. It's got a crenulated bezel on it. It's got a knurled grip. Again, like I said before, this thing is aluminum, and it's also 2.2 pounds, so it's heavy. It's not super light. It seems fairly well balanced. It's got a little bit of a lanyard on it right here. Back in the day, we would hold it and you'd actually learn how to flip a light like this in your hands by using that lanyard right there. Let me tell you about the light settings on this thing. It's got a small button right here. It is rubber sealed, it's got a rubber coating over it right there. And this thing is IP22 water resistant. So it's not waterproof. You're not gonna go throw this in your swimming pool and be okay, but it can have water splashed on it and things like that, and it's gonna survive. This thing has a handful of different settings on it. When you first turn it on, it goes to a high beam. If you click the button again, it goes medium. If you click it again, it goes to low. One more time puts it into the strobe. And then one more time past that, puts you in SOS. And then one more click will turn it off. If you hold that button down for 3 seconds, then you're gonna get what they call turbo mode. Turbo mode is where it's gonna kick out that 20,000 lumens. Now it's not gonna kick that 20,000 lumens the whole time. It's gonna kick it out for about 30 seconds and then it's gonna ratchet down to just the high level. Part of that being so that it doesn't actually drain the battery too fast or overheat. So we're gonna take a look at all of that stuff, and then we're gonna do some fun things with a weapon, and who knows what else we're gonna do. All right, so I'm gonna turn this thing on. First beam is gonna be, all right, that is high right there. That is on high. And that does kick out quite the beam. If you see, that's a house that a little horse shed that got blown over in our last windstorm right here just recently. Now let's kick this thing down. Let's see, so there's high, there's medium. It's still really good. High, medium, low. Okay, and then high, medium, low. There's your strobe effect, and that strobe it's pretty substantial. Then there's your SOS pattern, and then one more click would be off. All right, now let's try that turbo mode, and then we're gonna run it down from turbo to high. So in order to do the turbo mode, you've got to hold the button for 3 seconds. So 1, 2, there you go. All right, there's turbo mode. That is insanely bright. Okay, there's high. I'm gonna hold that button for 3 seconds, and there's turbo. Not terrible at all. I feel like I'm holding a flamethrower right here. This thing is super intense. All right, there it is on the high, medium, and low. Super, super good. And let's go turbo from here. I don't know if you can see all of that out there. There's a couple of bulls right there, some hay, and there's a little shelter right there for the bulls. Let's go to turbo mode and see how well it lights this up. Boom, there's turbo mode. Substantially different. Now it is more of a floodlight. Whenever it kicks up like that, you can see how bright that pattern is versus that. So we'll do it again. Just pay attention to where that is, and we're going turbo. So it does expand it just a little bit and makes it substantially brighter. All right, guys, let's talk about deploying this full-size Surge tactical flashlight when you've got your weapon system as well. When you're deploying both of those together, you're in a dark or a nighttime situation, whatever it is. When you deploy the two of these together, how do you do a full-size tactical light like this along with your weapon system? And yes, this is a Kimber 45. This was my actual duty weapon in the last few years that I was actually doing active duty as a drug interdiction officer. And I'm gonna tell you this right now, nothing that I say should be considered as the best way. I'm not saying that at all. I know there's a million different ways to do all of these things. This is just the way that I was taught. I'm gonna show you that because it's what I know. So what you would do is you'd grip this flashlight. This is a reverse grip, just like this, reverse grip. And then you've got the lanyard tucked up in your hand. You don't want that thing flying around loose. And then one of your fingers should land right on the on-off switch. And then what we would typically do is this over grip. If you can tell, that flashlight comes back. It's referenced to my forearm, the weapon, and this hand rests on this wrist. And then this tucked in would be your approach. And then this would be the ready to fire position. So what that would look like is this. That is how that would work. You've got it here. This is where you turn, you search, you look, find that target, and then take care of whatever you've got to take care of. Hopefully, you don't have to take care of stuff, but if you do, that would be the way. There's a lot of people who like to get that flashlight out away from their body, and that's a whole lot tougher with a large flashlight like this, but we did do it sometimes. You would actually have your weapon in front single-handed, and you get that light out to your side. Idea being that if somebody's gonna start throwing rounds at that flashlight, they're gonna not have your center mass behind the light. You're not gonna be taking those rounds. They're gonna be shooting out there to the side of you. Personally, I always preferred this. Now, one of the limitations of doing this cross-rest method is that you cannot get this weapon out very far in front of you, so it does change your sight picture some. We're all used to doing so many things where that weapon actually moves far out in front of you, and whenever you've got it like this, you're limited as to how far you can go. Now, when you train with it like that, you're actually gonna get really, really good at utilizing that much shorter push out distance, something that you may not be used to. If you've got one of the smaller lights, if you've got like a little Olight, a Phoenix, whatever it is that you like, those things can be deployed in your hands with elastic in a million different ways, and that's what makes them so awesome. But when you have one of those, it's so easy to get that weapon and that light way out in front of you, much more like what we're actually probably used to. So I'd say this, if you're gonna have a full-size tactical flashlight like this, then you're gonna need to do an awful lot of practice, doing things just like what I'm doing tonight. You're gonna wanna learn how to secure that lanyard, just like that. Just now grabbed it. Keep that finger on that button so that you can turn that thing on and off anytime, whenever you need to. When you need to hit it, you got it. When you need to do the rest, the push, the target acquisition, these are things that you need to practice, and practice an awful lot, so that you can be super good with this. Now we're gonna take this, and I'm gonna actually give you a warning right now that I'm gonna go ahead and hit the strobe on this. So we'll go through all of the different phases. There's high, medium, low, strobe. Boom. Not bad. Not bad at all. I actually really like the strobe effect on this. On a lot of them, it's not a really great strobe effect. On this one, it is. All right, guys, so let's wrap this up with me saying that as far as an old school full-size tactical flashlight, I'm digging this Surge 20,000 lumen LED aluminum crenulated bezel, knurled grip, rechargeable, lithium battery powered flashlight. It's heavy, it's 2.2 pounds. You're not gonna enjoy having this thing just stuck in your back pocket or something. And I do think that it's probably slightly better suited for certain situations. I would think that this would be fantastic. If you're like me and you've got land like this, having one of those smaller handheld, the very small lights, that's never gonna be as good as something like this. Or if you need that major durability, it's very, very hard to imagine some of those smaller lights, and I own some, being nearly as durable as this. This thing's probably gonna handle being run over by the truck or the tractor, and it's gonna be just like it looks right now. It also, again, it can serve as an impact weapon. This is something that if you need kind of a fallback, you find yourself in situations where it'd be really nice to have a force multiplier, an impact weapon out in a setting where you might need that, as well as utilizing the light. Really, really good. Drawbacks on it are gonna be that if you don't leave the light on for just a second once you turn it on, like if you go immediately to turn it right back off, you've got to cycle through each one of these settings. Now, if I turn it on and I actually leave it on for just a second, there's a certain amount of time, a certain number of seconds that one click takes it straight to off. So that's maybe a bit of a drawback to that. I think that probably the fact that it's got that turbo mode, that gives it an advantage, and it's fairly significant. That's how you get the 20,000 lumens. The fact that that turbo mode only stays on for 30 seconds. So that's turbo mode right there, and it's just about as bright as it can possibly be. And having that in certain situations, I'm out here in the country, and a lot of times we've got coyotes that come around and they don't love the light. That 20,000 lumens right there would be enough to run almost every coyote off. And for the ones that don't get run off, well, you may have to handle those with something more than just a flashlight. It all depends on what you're trying to protect. So I'm gonna say that this is absolutely worth the money. It comes with a charging cord. You've got to have the power block to put that charging cord into. And it takes about 3 hours to get this thing fully charged. And then the runtime on it, they're saying that you're gonna get about 1.5 to 2 hours on the The high setting, you're gonna get up to about 3 hours on the lowest setting. So you're gonna get ample time out of this. And then I guess the cost, under $100. These things retail for about $79. You can find them on sale at places like Tractor Supply all the time for around $60. So I actually found this one on sale and got it for $49. So if you look around, you can find these things on sale, and they've got different versions of this as well. There's smaller ones that are 1,000 lumens. I think they even have one that's on down around 200 to 500 lumens. That's very, very small. But this is the only one that I would consider using just because it's so old school, and I've got an awful lot of experience using this type of flashlight. And I actually think this would be an improvement over the old big D-cell Maglites. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little test. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. As always, we're gonna be doing an awful lot more of this stuff. If you will, you can support our channel by going to tacticalredneck.com. We're just building a little world over there on that website. We're just trying to do videos. We're not professionals with this stuff, but we've got an awful lot of experience in law enforcement. We're trying to bring all of that experience forward for you and give you the training and the things that you need to help you with your tactical experience. Anyways, guys, until that next video, stay safe and God bless.